Joining me is Tony Thomas, author, former business editor and now contributor for Quadrant Online, where he wrote about this Melbourne University scheme. Tony Thomas, what is this organisation within Melbourne University that's doing it, and why?
Well, Climate Futures is a cross-departmental sort of all singing, all dancing think tank. And the result is that it's really fairly uncontrolled compared to a normal faculty place. But stepping back a bit, the university is just besotted with sustainability, and it's got this sustainability charter that it's imposed, like it or not, on every campus, every faculty, every subject, all staff up to professors, all students, and even on the cafeterias. And incoming freshers all have to comply, and there's software enforcing the fact that all these people are properly educating and towing the line on this material. I mean, when I last checked, Planet Saving was even part of the Bachelor of Fine Arts in dance. And as for this Climate Futures, as I said, it's fairly uncontrolled. But I really wonder whether it's even collaborating with the education faculty, let alone the education department, which is supposed to monitor and vet all material going into classrooms. This is designed for teachers. The kids obviously aren't going to find these videos on websites at primary level, and it doesn't seem to be mapped to the curriculum. And if you ask me, it's even targeting kids below primary level, because you notice all this blue fossil fuels and yucky coal engines, fossil fuel engines. It's all just terrible stuff.
Look, the whole thing is very strange. Now, what I've shown there, is that typical of these videos that Melbourne University has made, in my opinion, misstating facts, pushing absurd scares, suggesting plainly stupid solutions?
Well, all the factual material is very typical of the university. I think this idea of producing videos for small kids, I mean, what is a university doing getting into all this nonsense? And as you can see, the intellectual level is absolutely abysmal. And I think the real problem is the lack of diversity within these units and think tanks, where there's nobody to say, hey, this is all nonsense. You know, this is all remote from the real world. They've got some academic expert there on sailing ships, and they all think he's the bee's knees. And that's why they're pushing this sailing ship nonsense and the yucky, dirty ship's engine. They're even suggesting a solution to climate change is to have less world trade. And when you think about the world trade in food, they want to condemn whole populations to starvation.
They might not want to, but that's what it would do. I can't wait to see Gina Reinhardt's face when I tell her that Melbourne University wants her to ship her iron ore in sailing ships. How many other groups are there out there pumping climate scares into schools like this? And it makes me wonder whether the schools that allow pro-fossil fuel groups to do the same.
Well, the barbarians aren't outside the gate, they're right inside. And the worst is probably ABC education, because it's so prestigious, and that gets into primary and secondary classrooms with pure green left propaganda, although there's a lot of ordinary neutral material. Another one's this Cool Australia that's run by the Kimberley multi-millionaire family, and Mike Cannon-Brookes, the billionaire, has put his oar in and financing some of their work. There's Damon Gameau and his popular dark green movies that are all over the school systems by the hundreds of thousands of students and classrooms. There's the WWF and Earth Hour. And as for the Aboriginal lobbies, they get a completely uncritical carte blanche into classrooms like NAIDOC Week and the Reconciliation Australia, and this stuff goes right down to preschool. Now, whether the Teachers Union would even permit for 1 second the IPA, the Petroleum Association, the Coal Council, and so on into classrooms, I just don't know. I'm not up with that area, because basically I've got a feeling it's an entirely negative area.
Well, if they would, I don't know that many teachers would think that appropriate and would have a real issue on their hands. Tony Thomas, Thank you so much. And if people want to read more about this extraordinary stuff, go to Quadrant Online and click on your excellent article. Thank you so much for your time.